Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the Steam release coming for Albion Online. We all knew it was coming eventually, but it's here. So let's get straight into it. I've got a load of tabs open so we can talk through all the information we have. Shout out to Sergeant Price on the Albion official Reddit. Submitted a month ago, Albion Online is coming to Steam. He kind of called it, and here it is officially announced. There's been a bit of a discussion talking about this at the moment, and yeah, I'm not sure what to take from it. I'm not sure how I feel about it, and the reason I say that is because Albion Online is a game that comes alive after 10 plus hours, and the reason I say that is for the first hour, I personally know that me playing the game for my first hour, I ran around, I killed things. Why? Because I played other MMOs, and that's the same sort of idea that you have in other MMOs. You run around, you kill wolves, you pick up skins, you take them back to your finishing quest. Obviously, there is now a couple of quests as a tutorial that kind of gives you a rough idea, but it's still very much sort of that sort of mentality that if you come from another MMO, you're going to go in with, okay, where are the quests type thing. And I think that's something that a lot of players might come into and go, there's no direction, what do I do? Because sandboxes are a game that are very, very niche right now. You look at successful sandbox MMOs, you have things like Eve, things like Ultima Online, obviously a while ago now. You have obviously a load of other games as well, but realistically, they're all very niche games. They aren't the biggest games in the world, purely because there is no direction. You have to kind of find your own content in there. And for someone in a new game, that's quite difficult to do. I know now that I could log on to Albion with absolutely nothing to do, and I can log in with and find a group and go do Hellgates or go and do GVGs or go and spec up a little bit or whatever. Whereas new players aren't going to know that. They aren't going to know what the content is in the game. So the game really comes alive after the first 10 hours, and I don't think there's enough in the game right now to get them through them 10 hours. What Steam is going to do is inject 10,000, 5,000. I mean, we see it here. 10,000, 5,000 people into the game to effectively try and boost numbers. And I understand the logic behind it. But realistically, does it fix the issues that are in Albion at the moment? No. So I've got a really good post in a second I want to talk about. So I've got the first one here from Skitted on the forum. Aside all the hustle, ideas not implemented, questions, bugs, shortcomings it still might have, it's still the best game of its type. I will support this with good reviews as I want this to be a success. Great news. So look at it very positive spotlight, and I like the optimism. So let's go through what he said. Ideas not implemented, questions, bugs, shortcomings, whatever. It is still the best MMO, sandbox MMO RPG, full loop PvP game out there right now. Whether it's going to remain that, whether other games kind of take that and run with it or whatever, it's quite a niche genre, but it is the best game of its genre right now. Is that a genre I think Steam will appreciate? Not really. And the reason I say that is because Steam players are known to pick up a game, pick it up, put it down, play something else, and that's what Steam's about. Steam, most people have like quite a large Steam library of games. They'll pick up a game, play it for 10 hours, play it for 5 hours, get bored of it, pick up something else, and carry on. As far as I know, and we don't know this officially yet, but as far as I know, or as far as I sort of guess, the prices are all going to be the same for the accounts, which means even if you want to get into Albion, you're still going to have to pay the $30, 24 quid, or whatever it is, or whatever it is in your local currency, just to get involved into the game. So that's quite a large sum of money, especially for Steam, to actually get into the game. And like I said, you're then going to get in, you're going to play it for a couple of hours, and you're not going to get into any of the good content. So someone's had a really good idea, and this is the post I want to talk about here from Lord Silver. In addition to the status of Steam accounts versus Albion Online accounts that you have to solve, so he's referring to the fact that the Steam accounts, you'll have to buy another key to link your existing account onto your Steam account or something like that. It's really weird how it's worked. Hopefully they fix it and just allow you to like partner it up without the need for buying anything. Founders shouldn't, or people shouldn't have to buy keys to pair their Albion Online with their Steam account. I believe there is something in the game that would be considered a higher priority before trying to move to Steam. A negative Steam rating by the community can be crucial to the game, and that is something that is very, very important. If you go into Steam and have an incredibly negative review, your game's just not even going to get looked at. If anything, it might even lose players. Whereas a game that has a good or an average sort of rating is going to do okay, and then you go into games with fantastic top of the range ratings that can be amazing for the community. So it's really something that hangs in the balance. But let's get into what he said. Taking this into account, at least you should try to solve and indicating only some. The situation of monotony in PvE, even if it is with the reactivation of the old dungeons of Beta 1, or create dungeons with multiple entrances and with connection to several maps far apart from each other, just to create greater diversity in the PvE game. Now, early on, you're going to get to experience T3 dungeons, which are effectively solo dungeons with absolutely no skill involved. You've got T3 Reaver, which you'll naturally get through the questing sort of tutorial phase anyway. You're going to push in, you're going to get into T3 dungeons, you're going to have about 8 mobs to kill per dungeon, probably very few if there's actually a big release type thing. But in the first 3 hours, you're going to have T3, then you get to T4 dungeons. T4 dungeons, you do get blue dungeons, and so you do get 5-man dungeons, and you do get solo dungeons. In this, you're going to find the same rotation, the same mobs, and whatever, and you're going to be stuck there until you move to T5, and then as soon as you hit that T6 mark, which in fairness you can hit within the first couple of hours, it's not too hard, especially if you have a group that's fairly competent, you're going to start getting to a point where, one, you're forced into a situation of red zones to keep progressing, and people are going to want that. You're also forced into, basically, here's a mob, kill it over and over again, and you'll get better. There's no sort of differentiation in dungeons, and what was happening is that people were like struggling to fame because there was too many people in the game. Now, Albion, I think, is a game that actually survives and thrives on quite a small community, but realistically, having some difference, even if it's like different events and stuff that change things up, would make a big difference to the same mobs doing the same things all the time. I mean, I'm someone who's farmed Blighted Bog for hours upon hours upon hours. They changed one ability in Blighted Bog. They gave the Archer one new ability, completely changed Blighted Bog because it gave me something else to do for about a week, and then I got bored of it again. But still, I completely agree with this point that while it is a sandbox and grinding is a part of a sandbox MMO, you kind of still have to try and make it an interesting grind. Reduce the current paradigm of the capital city in the game with the increasing the importance of the other 5 cities, both strategic and economic. So, at the moment, the outside cities for Stirling, Lyndhurst, Marlock, Thetford, Bridgewatch, have I missed anything? I don't think I've missed anything. Are basically irrelevant. Carlion is the main city, it is the most important city. Luxury goods tried to solve that a little bit. All of my luxury goods have gone straight into Carlion. So people are doing the runs, but a lot of people are just selling them straight into Carlion, which again further increases the point of Carlion being just the best city. Both strategically because it has all the red zones around it and access to the black zone, and economically for the money it sort of brings in every day. So again, I agree with this point. But that's not something new players are going to really have an issue with, in my opinion. Not early on, anyway. Increase the number of war camps in the yellow and red zones so that there's greater GVG activity in the Royal Continent. They have to make the Royal Continents alive. And I say that because people are not going to want to come in and be like, right, okay, I've come in. Let's say, for example, Steam player A comes in, he walks up to Sun and says, I want to join your guild. They accept him in, and then they go, right, okay, to GVG you need 80 spec, you need T8 armor, you need this, and this. He's then going to go, yeah, but that's so far away, I just want to get into PvP. They're going to go, well, okay, yeah, but we don't want to go and fight every yellow war camp or every red war camp, and actually even every black war camp. I think black war camps could even have either more war camps or more timers. And this is something that people have asked for a while. Having greater GVG activity makes the game just feel a lot more alive. More GVGs there are, the more buzz there is around, and there's more for people to talk about, and there's more conflict, which is what the game is built around. So again, a very, very smart point. Increase the number of maps in the red zone, even if they simply by creating smaller maps without territories among the current ones that exist around Carlion. I'm not sure how much I agree with this. I think you've got, I believe, 8. 8 red zones. I think that's more than enough, honestly. Maybe even 10 more, because I think Berkefell is, I don't know. Let's have a look. So actually you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, probably more, I'm missing one, 16, there we go. So 16 red zones, honestly, you don't need any more, so I don't really agree with that point. 16 red zones is more than enough. The imbalance between the different weapons in the game, because currently only relic weapons are considered important for everything in the game, whether ZVZ, GVG, or even small PvP. There is no more diversity. I disagree again with this point just slightly. It's not just relic weapons, but I mean, if I have to go through the weapons, there's typically only one weapon at a time in a tree that's viable, maybe 2. I mean, if we go through them, axes, like Bearpaw's got nerfed, they're not really GVG, high tier GVG viable. So Halberd, you go through Mace, nothing's really viable at the moment. Maybe Morningstar for ZVZs, you go through Swords, Galatines, and Clarent, both okay. Claymores, not bad for ganking. So you've got a couple of different options there. You look at daggers, claws are good for ganking, and bloodletters may be viable right now. There's not really a great balance amongst things. If someone comes in, and people definitely will come in and go, I want to be a bowman, I want to be an archer, or I want to be that rogue with the daggers, and people get told that you're just not going to be able to play that because it's just simply not good enough. They're going to go, why do I want to play the game? If I can't play the way I want to play, why do I play the game? So obviously balance, you're never going to have perfect balance between every weapon, but it has to be living, and having like combat patches every 3 months that change things up isn't going to be enough. Isn't going to be enough to cut it that things are changing, the meta's changing, in my opinion. Balancing the impact of alliances in the game, just look at the map to understand that. Something wrong is not right. Let's do that right now. So let's look at guilds first. So Royals, nice little mix. Anglia, nice and patchworky. Cumbria starts getting a little bit more sort of one colour. Mercia is Mercia. So we look at alliances then. All of Mercia bar one, I think it's 2 territories. There we go, 2 territories are Suns. Cumbria is basically split between 2 different alliances. Anglia is split effectively between 3 different alliances. So you've got the Oops Alliance, the Sun Alliance, and the Conflict Alliance, with a couple of other guilds. You've got new players that have done quite a lot. Blue Army have got a couple, not too many territories anymore. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's basically owned by about 4 alliances in the game. I mean, I say that as well, with Mercia, PoE, and Truth all working together at different points, Alone working with some of these at different points as well. You start getting these sort of co-oping alliances. Guilds, I personally know that when I start a new game, I go in with the mindset that I don't want to just join someone else's guild. I want to make my own. I want to build my own, and that is not something, in my opinion, that is viable right now. You look at Blue Army. Blue Army was a very sort of individual circumstance in that Blue Army came in from a lot of money coming in from Exertion, a lot of resources. They had a lot of high tier players that came in from Exertion and other guilds as well. It wasn't just a new guild that they went, right, we're going to start from scratch. And I think Steam guys will want to come in. We'll see a lot more new guilds, and we'll see a lot more guilds breaking up, just because they're not able to compete with any of these major guilds now. I mean, none of them major guilds are going to lose to a new guild. Even if they have one good team, they can simply win on out moneying them, out economizing them, and other things I don't remember now, which is not really a very helpful answer. But again, we go through this post, and I will put these links in the description. What do I think about Steam? I think Steam has the potential to be good for the game, but there has to be a lot of work on the first 10 hours of the game. Honestly, that's the most important part of the game. The first 10 hours when people come in, they try something new, and there has to be that level of excitement that carries them through into the game, into the content. And at the moment, I have to say, I just don't think it's there. So, guys, tell me what you think of Steam. Are you looking forward to it? Are you worried about it? Do you think it's going to hurt or help the game? Let me know all your thoughts. I really, really hope to hear them. Thanks for watching, and catch you later. Goodbye.